My 600 Pound Life can be a rather entertaining TV series to watch, but understandably so, it also comes with a dark side. Whether you watch for Dr. Now or see people finally reach their weight goal, some outcomes just aren't as happy. And today we're going to be looking at a few of those that unfortunately didn't quite make it and ended up passing away. With My 600 Pound Life first airing in February 1st, 2012. Since then, we've also seen a bunch of spin-off series, with the most successful one of those being 1000 Pound Sisters that featured Tammy and Amy, with both of the sisters losing a remarkable amount of weight, especially Tammy in the most recent series, who changed her life around after 4 seasons losing the weight. Granted, they're certainly not in tip-top shape, but on my days, it's a hell of a lot better from what they used to look like just a short few years ago, and hopefully they can carry on with their journey. But others, unfortunately, weren't so lucky. Which brings us on to our first person, Henry Foots. He actually appeared on the first ever season of My 600 Pound Life as well, at the age of 47 years old, weighing in at 715 pounds, being the heaviest patient in season 1. Although the thing with Henry, his story in which followed on the episode was actually deemed a success, as Henry Foots remarkably managed to lose a total of 440 pounds. Here's 2 pictures to compare side by side, an absolutely insane transformation. Henry Foots, who also was from Texas, stated that his long life food addiction had him weighing over 700 pounds by the age of 47, which prompted him to seek out Dr. Now's program after adopting the dietary requirements and undergoing gastric bypass surgery.
It's alright, it's just like having an out-of-body experience. That was to like take me to hell. I wasn't ready for it.
Which shortly after just that, he lost 340 pounds. But Foots remained completely determined to bring himself back to his health after his heart stopped during his second skin removal surgery.
Who that chair?
Sit back, huh?
You don't want that? You don't want chair?
Mine's on the bathroom.
A long trip.
No problem.
In total, Foots actually managed to bring his weight down to a total of 275 pounds. Now able to return to his previous life, Foots began driving a shuttle bus in Houston.
3.5 years ago, I was the operation manager of a transportation company. This may look like a step down, but it's a new beginning.
It's been noted though, he actually suffered what was called a manic episode in 2012 that resulted in a vehicle striking and killing a pedestrian in 2012. And shortly after, 1 year later, Foots would unfortunately pass away on May 16th, 2013, with his death being unspecified. Which brings us on to our second person, Robert Butchell's passing. Robert joining in a later season on My 600 Pound Life, he actually joined at a whopping 840 pounds, being one of the heaviest stars ever to go on the program.
You've been here too long and you aren't doing what you need, and that has to change, okay?
Yeah.
You don't sound very sure.
No, I'm just a little upset today.
Bad day?
It's been noted that Robert actually got off on a flying start during his first month of filming My 600 Pound Life, managing to shed 124 pounds following surgery to remove lymphedema masses, a surgical treatment that aims to remove excess fat, which 5 months later, Robert managed to get down to 502 pounds, with managing to lose 340 pounds in total so far. But unfortunately, following the otherwise successful surgery, he later became addicted to painkillers, as it was reported by the Daily Mail. Dr. Now actually attempted to warn him off the pain medication, but Robert absolutely refused, with Robert not wanting to leave his bed at this point and not taking part in any kind of exercise.
We're gonna get in the hallway. If you feel like your knee's gonna buckle, let me know and I'll pull the chair up, okay?
All right. I'm definitely doubting myself more. I think because I'm still thinking about the road ahead and how long I have left and how many surgeries I have left. And I think that's really starting to get to me too. And that hurts me that I'm adding more stress on Catherine. And I have fear that one day Catherine's just gonna have enough and she's gonna leave.
To which it was reported, unfortunately, by In Touch Weekly that Robert had sadly passed away of a massive heart attack at the age of just 41 on November 15th, 2017. His fiancée, Catherine Linsky, actually opened up about Robert's death in an interview a year later.
Rob's heart was so big that his body couldn't contain it. I used to tell him that all the time. I said, the reason you're a big guy is because you have too much love for everybody. It doesn't fit your heart.
Which leads us to our third case, the tragic story of James Bonner. James was actually introduced into season 6 as a 29-year-old who weighed 642 pounds when the viewers met him.
No one understands how hard it is to be over 600 pounds and missing a leg. Those two factors combined make getting around almost impossible. Right now, the prosthetic leg I use is barely able to hold my weight. And every morning I have to fight to put a liner on over my stump.
He managed to drop over 300 pounds while on his time on the show, and apparently James was actually a fan favorite because he was a cheerful and charming and good-natured person. Sadly though, in 2018, James actually took his own life, which actually prompted his grieving family to take action against the company that produces My 600 Pound Life. As it was reported by James's family, they all agreed that the show placed him under severe mental and physical distress and failed to provide him with significant mental help after the series was done filming. In this lawsuit, they also claimed that the show's extreme conditions caused James to lose some of his teeth and actually really impacted his vision. I know some of these shows can be entertaining to watch from time to time, but I do find a lot of the goals that are given to some of the people on the show can be overwhelmingly extreme, with some people losing over 100 pounds in just a month. Of course, there is the argument to be made that once you are this size, losing those types of numbers isn't really that surprising. That being said, it can still be extremely dangerous to lose that much weight, but again, on the other hand, it can be just as dangerous to keep that weight. It was also stated that James's family is not only suing the production company. Within 3 months of James's family lawsuit, 9 other former cast members decided to try and sue the company as well, with all the stories being extremely similar to James. As it was reported, one former cast member, Gina Crossley, alleged that she was forced to eat excessive amounts of food on screen, so it looked like she couldn't stick to the diet, and production purposely caused her distress for entertainment purposes. This was all reported by the New York Post, which honestly, just seeing this online doesn't come as any surprise to me, as I feel like we're all well aware at this point that Hollywood can certainly play up to the cameras sometimes to try and get that shock value for the audience. Honestly, it's just kind of sad to read this, that they had to go through this, as I feel like it's a massive missed opportunity to really help people that generally find it hard to lose the weight in the first place, using them just for views. And now our number 4th tragic story, the passing of Lisa Fleming. When Lisa joined the show, she weighed at around 700 pounds when she appeared for the first time.
1, 2, 3. Her life is so exhausting. It hurts. I'm stuck in this bed.
Back in February 2018, as some of the first shots ever recorded for Lisa's episode was paramedics attempting to move her bed, as Lisa hadn't left it for quite some time in her home of Texas. In this scene as well, I'm not going to show it, but there was even discovered to be maggots as well in the mattress and on her body, which was a massive wake-up call for Lisa. But in August 2018, it was revealed that Lisa managed to drop roughly 200 pounds since appearing on the TLC show. However, the filming eventually succumbed, as Lisa had various illnesses she had suffered with prior to appearing on the series, and at the end she was sick and her body was tired. Her body just gave out. As it was reported, the mother held her hand for roughly 4 hours as Lisa passed. Lisa also had a daughter as well, in which she also shared a heartfelt tribute to the mother on Facebook. and wrote, "Mummy, I love you from here to the stars and back. Those babies loved you even more. I'm happy you are no longer in pain and stuck in your bed. You'll pray for me, check on me, come see about me because I'm not okay. I love my mama and I couldn't wish this pain on any of my worst enemies. Rest in peace." Which brings us to the tragic end of Kelly Mason from My 600 Pound Life, in which one specifically tragic story involves Kelly Mason, who journeyed to Houston to seek Dr. Now's advice. Unfortunately, once she had arrived, it became apparent that Mason was struggling with a series of health problems, including diabetes, a thyroid problem, arthritis, high blood pressure, and a blood clot, pulmonary embolism. And not only that, but Mason had recently been hospitalized for her convulsive heart failure. And those were just some of the few problems that Mason had.
After her appointment, Kelly was getting in the van, but she struggled to get in her seat. And she's now stuck on the floor and unable to get up now with the position she's in. And my concern is that the strain of that will lead to her suffering cardiac arrest here soon if we don't get her up.
And I know this video can seem a bit dormant, but I do find it's very important to go through these. As I know on this channel, we look at a lot of people on TikTok that really do believe and claim the fact that healthy at any size is true. And just because someone said it online and it makes them feel better, they take it at face value and take it at 100% fact. While reading these cases and seeing every single one of them, it's very apparent that that's clearly not the case, and it continues to be that way, and especially for Kelly Mason too. As overall, Kelly did manage to lose 300 pounds. Kelly lost the first 100 pounds as Dr. Now admitted her to hospital, which ensured her approval for surgery. Thanks to that, it seemed like Kelly was on track. As she said this, "It feels like the first day of a new life, actually." But not too shortly after that, losing the extra 200 pounds on top, followed the tragic news that Kelly actually passed away on February 15th, 2019. In which one of the rare cases, Dr. Now always seemed rather stoic on the TV series, but this time actually looked deeply saddened by Kelly's passing. But he explained that her death wasn't caused by any backtracking on her part. As Kelly's last appointment with Dr. Now just a few weeks ago, her weight loss was on track. So this was not a result of her going back on bad habits. Although it's hard to deny that Kelly, being the size that she was from the get-go, didn't have any part to play in this. It certainly did. Again, I find these videos really important to make, to talk about the very serious effects of doing this to your body. Now, of course, this is extreme cases. And of course, you should always love your body and you should be proud. But when it gets this extreme, not for my sake or people online, but generally for your own sake, having the ability to act on this now could literally give you many more years to live. With that all being said, I hope you found this video interesting. Once again, if you guys are able to share this video around, leave a like if you enjoyed. It always helps the algorithm, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the support recently on this channel. Again, I'm blown away by all of it, so thank you so much for that. With that all being said, hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.